What is up, guys, and welcome back to another video where today I show you what stock I just bought, and I'm super excited to give you my in-depth analysis of why I think this company is so attractive to me. So without further ado, let's get right into the company and let's tell you what the company is. And that company is Beyond Meat, or ticker symbol BYND. Now we're going to go over the business model, the management team, the risky business with this business, and then we'll talk about what moves I made. But before I go into the business model, I need to see how far beyond you can take that subscribe button.
Help me! Help me!
Yeah. But seriously, it really helps out the channel, so thank you so much in advance for doing that. So Beyond stock has actually seen a pretty big pullback from the recent high down to the $120 to $140 range. So what does this mean for the company and what does it mean for their stock? Well, let's dive straight into the business model. So they sell exactly plant-based foods that are meant to substitute pork, beef, and chicken. And these products range from meatballs, sausages, burger patties, and even ground beef. Everyone and their grandma has heard about Beyond Meat, and if you haven't, have you even human? Moving forward, their mission statement reads, "We believe there is a better way to feed our future and that the positive choices we all make, no matter how small, can have a great impact on our personal health and the health of the planet. By shifting from animal to plant-based meat, we can positively impact the growing global issues, human health, climate change, constraints on natural resources, and animal welfare." Nice. So I was actually watching a CNBC interview with Jim Cramer and the CEO of this company, and it was stated that people don't really buy their products just because it's healthy, but they also buy it because it's great for the environment. Now, in more recent years, we can see that Netflix has really made this big strive to change the way that we look at meat, and they kind of put out these videos and movie documentaries of how gruesome and horrifying meat consumption can be. Thus, veganism has become a lot more acceptable in today's society. But did you all see those Netflix earnings though? Now let's talk about their TAM, or their total addressable market. Now the plant-based meat industry is projected to grow substantially over the course of the next few years and has a CAGR, or compound annual growth rate, of 15.8%. It is stated by 2027 the plant-based meat industry is supposed to grow to about $35.4 billion. Now, the global meat market today is worth about $1.4 trillion, and the US meat market alone is worth about $270 billion. And if we take today's market cap of Beyond Meat, which is about $8 billion, and if we believe that they can capture some of this market share from the meat industry alone, then I think that Beyond Meat is actually worth a lot more than it is today if they are able to capture that market share from the total meat industry that exists today. Now, let's look at the crazy revenue growth, and I'm talking triple digits. So if we look at the revenues from 2018 to 2019, we can actually see that they grew their business year over year by 239%. And if we look at the year-to-date revenue growth from 2019 to 2020, we can see that they actually grew 53%. Taking into mind that these numbers were from the September report, and I'm taking them from there. Now, a lot of people are saying that this company is in the dumps because their growth could have slowed from the panoramic.
What did he say?
This could be due to people losing their jobs, which just means that they have less money. And when you have less money, you care less about your diet. And with the stay-at-home economy, a lot of people are just kind of staying inside and not really going out to these fast food restaurants to try out their products. Now, we can see that over the years that they have been growing their outlets and distribution. And ever since that they IPO'd, their total outlets have grown by 294%. And that is pretty large from wherever they started at. We can see that they have exposure in US retail, the US food industry, and internationally. And they're even expanding into like Asia and testing out their products there. Now, a recent partner that is pretty large is Pizza Hut going beyond. Specifically,
To infinity and beyond!
Infinity and beyond. Just kidding, they just put their sausages on the Pizza Hut pizza. Yeah. Also, did you know that Taco Bell actually announced that they're going to have a partnership with Beyond Meat and sell their plant-based protein inside their stores? And I think that this is genius because taco meat is very easy to substitute for plant-based meat, and you wouldn't really even notice because you're throwing all that taco sauce on top of it anyways, right? I don't know. However, there are big talks that Beyond Meat could actually get the partnership with McDonald's for their McPlant burger. But this McDonald's partnership is not set in stone, as McDonald's states that they have a lot of partners that they're trying to get partnerships with, and they're just trying to sort out which one's the best for them. However, I think that the McDonald's CEO actually slipped up in this interview that I was watching. I'll let you see for yourself.
We have a relationship with McPlant or with Beyond Meat.
Extremely sus. Now let's take a look at their profit margins because we got to see how much money they're making on their products, right? If we look at their adjusted gross margin, they have about 28.9% in Q3 of 2020, and this lowered from Q3 of 2019. their margins aren't really that high for being a super high growth company. So my thoughts on this is that I would like to see them increase that gross margin over time and just try to become more profitable on their products alone. So if they could outsource their manufacturing to different parts of the world, then I think that they could bring down that cost to produce these products, and I think that long term they will be able to just increase that gross margin. But this is just my wish, and we have to see how they perform in the next coming years. The enterprise value for Beyond Meat is $7.7 billion, and the gross profit for Beyond Meat is $99 million. So taking the enterprise value and gross profit, we can make the enterprise value to gross profit ratio, which is about 77. And this is a great ratio to measure the growth of a company, and it gives us a gauge of how much a company is really truly worth. So a lower ratio would mean that this company is potentially undervalued, whereas a higher one would indicate that they're overvalued or trading at a premium.
2 + 2 is 4, -1, that's 3, quick maths.
Here, I think Beyond Meat is definitely trading at somewhat of a premium, but that's kind of what you get when you have a company that's innovating and trying to change the world. Now, it's up for debate if this company's valuation is justified or not, and that's really up to you and really how you see these numbers. So looking at their balance sheet, we can see that they have current assets of $390 million and current liabilities of $45 million. Now, if we take the current assets divided by the current liabilities, then we get a current ratio of 8.56. And an 8.56 current ratio is actually really high, because that just means that they could pay off any debt that they incur and they could just pay that off overnight.
Quick maths.
Moving on to the management team, I just want you guys all to know that this CEO is swift as a coursing river, with all the strength of a raging fire. It is Ethan Brown, and after listening to countless interviews with this guy is extremely smart, and he's a true visionary of this company. He understands the business inside and out. He's able to tell what they do in a simplified manner just so everybody understands what it is that they're doing. Ethan Brown is never complacent as to where the products are now, and he's always looking to improve those products just so we can get a better experience as consumers. Let me show you the short clip of Ethan Brown and what his plans are in the future.
Because I don't want to be a small meat company. I want to be a global meat company. I want to be a global protein company. You know, people asked New York Times yesterday, do you want to keep collaborating with some of the meat companies you collaborated in the past? And not past that, I want to be one of them. You know, I want to be Tyson. I want to be JBS in terms of size and impact on the world market.
So we can see that the long-term goal is to actually be as big as a JBS, as big as a Tyson, and to capture that market share and become as big as they are. With the greatest intentions for this company, I think that Ethan Brown will be able to propel this business and take advantage of any opportunities that arise before him. But we have to talk about the risky business of this business at the end of the day, because they are a business and they do make money, and we are putting our money into this business.
Okay.
Risky business number 1, what if the McDonald's partnership does not go through? Then we lose out on a lot of market share, especially in the branding, if somebody else takes that McPlant before Beyond does. But you know, the CEO may have slipped up, and we'll just have to see if this hunch is correct in the upcoming months. Reason number 2, what if the shift to plant-based foods really doesn't happen? And what if people just don't really care about their health and don't really care about the environment? Along with that, what if they think that Beyond Meat products are just too pricey for them and they just won't be able to afford them or won't be willing to pay for them? Risky business number 3, what if someone like Impossible Foods comes out and beats them in competition in this plant-based foods industry? Those are just some things to think about as an investor in this company.
Knowledge.
Now let's talk about my move with this stock. So recently there's been doubts about the sustainable growth in the future for this company, and which kind of caused that to sell off in the near term. But I love what Beyond is doing, and I love the drive of Ethan Brown and what he can do for this company to just make that push forward. And I really believe in the shift to environmentally sustainable foods as well as a healthier human diet. So I bought 33 shares at $117.58, and I was really lucky that I bought that stock when I did, because the next few days the stock shot up 20% off news that they will be partnering with Taco Bell. So right now I'm comfortable with this position I hold, and if we see a larger pullback in 2021, then I may look to add more. But right now I'm just looking to hold, and if it goes up in the near term, then I'm okay with that. However, I do have to limit risk, as this is a very high growth company that does have a lot of risks associated with them, and I just have to make sure that I limit this risk because they do have a lot of downside potential that could happen with all these analyst downgrades and the negativity behind the stock. That being said, do you think that Beyond Meat has huge upside potential in the long term, or do you see red flags with their business? Let me know in that comment section down below, because I'd love to hear from you guys. I hope you enjoyed the video today and found it entertaining. And if you're not subbed yet, what are you doing?
Just do it!
Check out the sexy drawing, and I really appreciate all the support from you guys. See you in the next one.